This is the Tecno Camon 30 Pro 5G. Like, this phone is packed. There's like a lot of things to talk about. So let's not waste any time and just begin. Now, starting off with the box contents, don't worry, this phone comes with every accessory you need to power this phone, except the wired headphones. But don't worry, this isn't something to care about because Tecno added a newly put in Tecno Buds 3, which is really rare to see in normal mid-range phone boxes. But it's also nice to see that while other phones at this same price are removing stuff from the box, Tecno is still adding more stuff, which, as I've already said, is really nice. And that's the same story with the design. The first thing you notice when you actually see this phone is its new look. Like, if you compare the Camon 20 Pro 5G to the 30 5G, you will know that they look nothing alike. This phone comes with a circular raised camera module that houses 3 cameras in a triangular form. The camera module is also glossy, so it attracts quite a decent amount of fingerprints. Also on the back, we get the LED flash and this red dot. But it's not a red dot, it's called a breathing light, and it turns on when you perform certain actions. Like when it's charging, like when there's an incoming call, when using a countdown timer, and when recording videos. Another thing you notice at the back is its leather-like look. I don't know if it looks like this for everyone, so definitely let me know your thoughts in the comments. The back is made out of glass and is also matte. Now this is good because it isn't prone to that much scratches and it doesn't get any fingerprints because of the way it was built. The rails, however, are glossy and they're shiny, so just like the camera module, it attracts quite a decent amount of fingerprints. The color we have here is black and there's also a white version, but I think the black version looks nicer to me. There are also 2 things that Tecno removed from the box, which are the likes of the headphone jack and memory expansion. But just as Tecno is removing stuff, they're also adding stuff to make it as solutions. Like for the headphone jack, they added in a wireless earbud, which serves as the Tecno Buds 3. And for the memory expansion, this phone comes with 512 gigabytes of internal storage. We also get stereo speakers on the top, which, as you already know, sounds really good. And something new they added is they added an IR blaster, which allows you to control 15 of your normal household appliances, just like your TV or your AC. For display, this phone comes with a 6.7-inch 1080p AMOLED display, which, as you can see, no upgrades, right? But for the fact that it comes with a whopping 144 Hz refresh rate, 144 Hz, like, I don't think you understand how big this is. Like, normal flagship phones go max at 120 refresh rates, but this phone is a mid-range phone, and the fact that it comes with 144 Hz is already big and way bigger than you actually need. The screen is extremely responsive, which, as you already know, you can also switch it from 60 to 90 to 120 to 144 Hz, which is really nice if you like that option. It's also good for doing hardcore tasks like long-term gaming or long-term while watching content. Now, talking about watching content, I would say that the screen resolution is really good, and the fact that it's an AMOLED display makes it even better. You know, because AMOLED display makes it vibrant, crisp, and true to life, punchy, all those cool words. The phone also goes pretty bright with a peak brightness of 1300 nits, which, as you can tell, is really good. They also reduced the bezels on the screen, but I would say that it isn't equal. Like the sides, the front, the other side, the bottom, they aren't equal to each other. Now, nitpicking here would lead me to saying how large the display is. Like, don't get me wrong, it is big enough for watching content. Some people do like it big, but for those people with smaller hands, it might get a bit difficult for them to use it one-handed. But aside from that, display is really good. We do get some upgrades. For performance, this phone comes with a MediaTek Dimensity 8200 chipset. And guys, this phone is really fast. Like, remember when I said this phone came with 144Hz refresh rate, which I said the screen is really responsive? Well, this is that, but faster. And that's not even all. The fact that it comes with 12 gig of RAM and 9 gigs of virtual RAM, which is already more than you already need, and then it comes with 512 gigabytes of internal storage with no SD card. Now you can see that Tecno is doing way too much. Multitasking on this phone was great. It felt like a breeze. Switching between apps was even better. It was faster than I even expected. For gaming, this phone ran Asphalt 9 like a champ. It ran it at the highest of frame rates, which some phones can't do. Again, Tecno is doing way more than they should have. They're doing way too much. But you know, the extra spec is really good. So you know, performance for me was top notch. This phone is running on iOS 14 on Android 14, and as you know, this phone comes with a couple of new AI features. Like now you can change the color all around the UI, which was seen in other phones like the Infinix Note 40. I think that's the only phone I've seen it in, but you know, it's really good. And now you can also create wallpapers manually, or you can ask AI to create it for you. Like you just have to text in a prompt, tell it its style, and voila, you have new wallpapers. You can also customize the home screen's clock style, fonts, and clock screen's shortcuts. There's also Tecno's AI called Ella, and she can do a lot of cool stuff like perfect a script, summarize a topic, or even write a topic for you. And for software updates, there isn't an official word from Tecno telling us about its maximum years of software update, but let's keep our fingers crossed that we might get maybe 2 to 3 years of software update. But yeah, software is packed, which is extremely really good. But now it's time for the key selling points, the one we've all been waiting for, the cameras. But I have to explain something first. Like, Tecno partnered with Sony and they brought the Sony IMX890 camera, which, as they said, is a flagship type camera. It's a type of camera we get in most flagship phones like the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra or the iPhone 15. So seeing it on a mid-range phone is just kind of shocking. The phone comes with a 50 megapixel main camera, a 50 megapixel depth sensor, and a 2 megapixel ultra wide. It also comes with a 50 megapixel selfie cam, which is really nice. Guys, Tecno weren't playing around. Are you seeing these photos? The 50 megapixel main camera is really good, especially if you get the shots in a decently lighted environment. The photos are actually very impressive. It just has the right amount of contrast and saturation. The photos, I would say, are really sharp comparing to other cameras like the Camon 20 Premier 5G, and you will instantly notice the difference between the two. And leaving the best part for last, which is the portrait mode. Portrait mode shots are really good. The separation from the subject to the background is really sharp. The dynamic range handles light really well. For video, it shoots max at 4K at 60 frames per second, which is really nice for a mid-range phone, which, as you can see, is really detailed, very punchy, very true to life. It can also shoot in stabilization if you shoot it at 4K at 30 frames per second, which is really good. Let me know what you think of the cameras down below. For battery, we get a big 5000 mAh battery, which, as we have already seen in the phones that have come out, 5000 mAh battery is a big enough battery that should last you about a full day of use on light usage. But on heavy days, it should last you about 7, 8, 9 hours or even 10 hours of moderate use. But then if the phone actually dies, you can charge it with the 70-watt fast charger that actually comes in the box. 70 watts. Now this charger can take your phone from 0 to 100 in less than an hour, which is really nice because, you know, of the light situation. And if you do not understand, I know some people understand, and if you do, drop it down in the comments. But as said, battery is really good. For price, it comes at the price of 538,000 naira, which is a bit pricey, but for the specs, I mean the whole bunch of specs you're getting, there's no need to complain. Now what I actually think about this phone is that this phone is a very good phone, from display to battery to performance to design to cameras. This phone is extremely impressive. You actually get a bunch of features and a bunch more of features that some you don't actually even need. And for that price, Tecno, if you're watching this video, you guys tried. You tried, you really tried. But yeah, that's my review on the Tecno Camon 30 Pro 5G. Let me know what to think of this phone in the comments. Make sure to drop a like. Make sure to subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.